Okay, I'm going to talk about interest. All right. We'll start with simple interest before we move on to more complicated types of interest. So simple interest, I equals principal times rate times time. This should look familiar from your school days, where principal is the amount of the starting balance on the account, rate is R as a decimal, converted to decimal form, and T is the time. So $2,320 is borrowed at 18.75% for 6.5 years. A, find the interest. B, find the accumulated value of the account to the lender. Okay? Because why is the accumulated value of the lender? Because they're going to get $2,320 worth of payments out of you plus the interest. Okay? So A. Okay? P is 2320. R is 0.1875. If you don't remember how to do this from school, just take the percent form and divide by 100. Okay? And T is 6.5. 6.5 years is 6.5. So I equals 2320 times 0.1875 times 6.5. Okay, so 2,320 times 0.1875 times 6.5. $2,827.50. B, accumulated value is the $2,320 that will be repaid plus the $2,827.50. Equals $5,147.50 or $5,147.50. Okay? I'm going to pause here and put up other types of interest formulas. Okay, here I'm going to discuss other type of interest, okay? Compound interest. Compound interest has two subtypes, continuous and periodic. Now, some courses include periodic only, okay? College algebra classes, business math class, advanced business math classes, applied calculus classes, which is also business, usually business calculus, usually include both of them as well. I think it's easier to start with continuous, so that's what I'm going to do first. Okay? So, but I will at least give people an idea of what this looks like for later. Okay? So, accumulated value equals the principal, and then this is where things change, become different between the two of them. E is a constant. It's 2.71. It's approximately 2.718281828,459, and then it goes all over the place forever. Okay? You'll hit shift or second. You'll hit shift or second LN on your calculator to get to that feature. Okay? For periodic, it's 1 plus the rate as a decimal, and this is still time. This is what causes the most confusion because it's usually never given as a number. Okay? It's a number of compoundings per year. Now, if it says it's compounded monthly, there's 12 months in a year, so n would be 12. If it's compounded annually, there's only 1 year per year, so n would be 1. If it's compounded quarterly, there's 4 quarters in a year, so n would be 4. And semi-annually, that's every half year, so that's twice a year. Okay? So, Purple Grove offers 4.45% interest compounded continuously. If 1,040 is deposited now, find balance in 9 years. So do. It says it's compounded continuously, so the appropriate formula is the continuous compounding formula. Okay? Now, before I start plugging things in, I try to identify what the variables are, what the variable values are, because sometimes it's not as simple as it seems. So 1,040 is what we're starting with. That's our principal. We're looking for what the balance is going to be, an accumulated value in 9 years. Rate, either move the decimal point over 2 places or just divide that by 100, is 0.0445, and T is 9 years. So A equals 1,040 times E to the 0.400, E to the 0.0445 times 9th power. Okay? Every calculator handles this differently. So what I would recommend you do is multiply this out. Okay? So leave the E, 0.0445 times 9 is 0.4005. Okay. Now, on my calculator, which is a Casio, you will see, and you will typically see an LN button. On my calculator, it's right there. Some calculators, it may look like a capital I, but it's actually LN. Okay? Right above that LN, you will see E to a power. Okay? Now, I can't get this thing to focus. Okay? But above, you should be able to find E to a power if you hit Shift or Second. So, for me, I would just type in 1,040 times Shift or Second, depending on what your calculator says, ln. So again, 1,040 times Shift or Second ln. Okay? This is what it looks like on the calculator that I'm using. Okay? And in the nearest set, that's 2 decimal places, 1552, sorry, 0.27. Okay? Now for this one, it's still continuous. A equals PE to the RTth power, where A equals, P equals, R equals, T equals. Well, rate is still what it was before. T is 9. Now that 1,600 is what we're hoping to have in 9 years. That is an accumulated value. We don't know what we're depositing, what we're starting with. As I said, determine what your values are before you start plugging things in. So I want to know when 1,600 will equal E to the P times E to the 0.0445 times 9th power. Okay, that's my unknown. That is what I'm solving for. So what I'm going to do is, since that's my unknown, I'm going to switch the side and move it over here. Okay, so I have P. I am going to go ahead and simplify the exponent. To pretend that I don't know what the answer to this is. So 0.4005 times 9, sorry, 0.0445 times 9 gives me 0.4005 equals 1,600. Now, my goal is to undo, I got P times this E to something. I'm going to do the multiplication by dividing. And yes, that is the arithmetic division symbol, and that's what I'm going to use. So P equals 1,600 divided by E to the 0.4005th power. Okay, so I'll do similar to what I did here, except instead of timesing, I'm going to divide. So 1,600 division, Shift or Second, ln, 0.4005. This is what it looks like on my calculator. Okay, if I can get it to show. Again, I'm sorry the lighting isn't very good in here. Okay, not for this. I have to darken it because I want the board to be very visibly clear. Okay. Maybe this other calculator will be a little clearer. Yeah, that looks better. Okay, hit enter or equal. Okay, so the nearest cent, that's going to be $1,071.98. The problem also said it wants the nearest dollar. So the nearest dollar, that is $1,072. Unless given reason to do otherwise, unless given reason to do otherwise, assume nearest cent. Unless given reason to assume otherwise. Okay. Purple Grove Credit Union offers 4.55% interest compounded monthly. Okay, if 1,040 is deposited now, find balance in 9 years. So it is a non-continuous. That means it's monthly, it's periodic. So this is the appropriate formula. Okay? So A equals, P equals, R equals, N equals, and T equals. So it is 12. It's compounded monthly. Okay? The rate is 0.0455. Time is, in this context, 1,040 is deposited now, find balance in 9 years, and we're starting with 1,040. We don't know what the accumulated value will be in 9 years. That's the question. So A equals 1,040 times 1 plus 0.0455 over 12 to 12 times 9th power. Okay? I strongly recommend you clean this up and never round. Never round. Okay? Never round that. Never round. I'll erase that, but I want to make sure it gets read. Never round. If it doesn't terminate, if it's a repeating decimal, then you keep it as is in parentheses. Okay? That's 108. I'll pretend that that's simply 108. So A equals 1,040. That, and I'm going to see if that divides cleanly. I don't think it does. So 0.0455 divided by 12 plus 1. So what I went ahead and did is I went ahead and took the 0.04, divide first, then add. Okay? And as you can see, there's a bar on top of my 6 that tells me it repeats forever. Okay? So that doesn't divide cleanly. So I'm going to leave it as is. Most problems will not round cleanly, so I recommend you get in the habit of just leaving these in parentheses. Okay, now most calculators, this isn't going to be a problem. You just type in the 1,040 times, open a parenthesis. I'm going to say that again. 1,040 times, open a parenthesis, 1 plus 0.0455 divided by 12. Balance the parenthesis, and then generic exponent button 108. So the nearest cent, I got $1,565.09. Okay, unless given reason to assume otherwise, you will round to 2 decimal places to the nearest cent. Okay, so for this one, same formula. Okay, so A equals, P equals, R equals, N equals, and T equals. So the cumulative value is going to be 16. So it's compound monthly, so N will be 12 throughout this problem. The rate is 0.0445 or 0.0455. Sorry, my brain was still on the last example, on another example. T is 9. And this 1600 goes with the future value. We don't know what we're starting with. That's the question. Okay? So I want to know 1600 equals P times 1 plus 0.0455 divided by 12 to 12 times 9th power. Clean that up, and since P is my unknown, I'm going to switch the sides. Okay, and I hope everything is still visible on screen. It is, good. Okay, so P times 1 plus over 12, that's 108, equals 1600. Okay, so my dream is to divide this off, because I got P times a whole bunch of stuff. So I'm going to divide off that whole bunch of stuff. Okay, so P, that looks more like a D, I'm sorry. P equals the 1600 divided by 1 plus 0.0455 divided by 12 to the 108th power. Okay? If you're using a Casio and most Texas Instruments calculators, this is not a problem. If you're using one of those calculators that doesn't support the order of operations, this is a little dicey. Okay? But for those of you who are using a good calculator, this is not a problem. Just type in the 1600 division, parenthesis. Very important that you include that parenthesis. 1 plus 0.0455 division 12. Balance the parenthesis, your generic exponent button, 108. To the nearest cent, I got $1,063.19 rounded to 2 decimal places. Okay.